What's up guys, welcome back to another Paladins video. So Tyra has been out for a few days and I've played a good amount of games as her and plenty against her since there's basically one on every team. If you want a tip on how to up your chances for picking her first, or any other future character for that matter, try to memorize where on the screen her icon is and have your mouse hovering over that spot on the Q screen when the crystals are popping up. From there, it's pretty much all reaction time. Anyway, let's talk about Tyra herself now. Normally I like to give myself a week with a new character before forming a solid opinion on them, but when it comes to Tyra, it's pretty cut and dry. Is she OP? Absolutely not. Is she good? Very situationally, I guess. Is she bad? Yeah, probably. Now, when I say bad, I mean in comparison to the other options available, and even though Tyra has the capability of having the highest DPS in the game, she isn't really all that great. Now let's go into why. She has a few problems, but the biggest reason is that movement is a really important thing in Paladins. Every character has a movement ability. Heck, Evie has two, but Tyra doesn't, since she's supposed to be a character that stands and fights. A damage dealer without a movement ability is a sitting duck, especially to flanks. If a flank jumps on you as Tyra, you're probably dead. There's the small chance you may kill them depending on the flank, but more often than not, you're just dead because you can't get away. Evie is especially dangerous because it's really hard to hit her tiny hitbox with Tyra's bullet spread, which is another problem. Since she has such a high possible DPS, she's a bit harder to use. She was said to be pretty easy to pick up, and in theory she should be, but that's just not really the case. Her recoil and bullet spread makes it so you're doing less reliable damage than all the other damage dealers unless you're up close. But if you're up close without an escape, you're gonna die quickly with your low health. All the other damage dealers are just much more reliable and well-rounded than Tyra. And while they do require proper positioning like Tyra does, Tyra has to work so much harder to stay safe. If she's out of position for even a second, a flank can jump on her or a Makoa can hook her. Once a Makoa hooks her, she's dead. He could just turn around and pull her into his team and there's no way out. It's over. Now let's take a quick look at Cassie for a comparison here. She got a nerf last patch, but she's still the best overall damage dealer. She has good, reliable damage and a great escape with her roll. If a flank jumps on her, she can roll away and put herself on an even playing field, so she has a chance to kill the flank if they choose to pursue that engagement further. So there's no real reason to pick Cassie over Tyra, unless of course you're not all that great with Cassie. Even then though, you can still pick Victor if you feel like you need an easier character. His escape isn't as good, but you can still get away with it as long as you position yourself right. I'd say the closest other damage dealer to Tyra that can be a sitting duck is Shaolin, since his movement ability doesn't send you very far, but if used right, it could still help you to get away. And unlike Tyra, Shaolin can be very far away from the fight and still be effective to compensate for his low movement. Now, once the buzz around her dies, you're probably going to see her usage go way down to like Sky levels, and I mean anything above the lower skilled levels of play, because Sky is actually used quite a lot down there. Now, since this will probably be the case, I imagine she'll get some kind of buff in the future. I don't think they're going to move away from her being that character who stands and fights, because that's their whole vision with her. They're probably going to want to maintain that, so I don't think they're going to give her a movement ability unless everything else they try to do with her fails. In my opinion, they should give her a health buff. If she's going to be that character that's more effective up close and stands her ground, then she's going to need the health to back that up. How much? Well, that'd require a bit of testing to get right. If you give her 3,000 like Buck, that'd probably be a bit much since she isn't a big character like him. But if you only raise her to like 2,500, it's probably not going to be enough. So maybe like 2,600 or 2,700. Again, it takes some testing to find that sweet spot. She needs enough so that she just doesn't die when somebody jumps on her and when she decides to get closer into the fight. I think the health buff is the best way to go about it, but hey, I could be wrong, and there may be other things she needs as well. What do you guys think? Now, just to make this clear once again, you can of course still do well with her. You just need to put in more work than you would have to with another damage character. When I was playing her, I had some pretty good games, but most of those were because they didn't have a very good flank, or they just didn't have a flank at all. So yeah, Tyra can be good, but it's pretty situational, and in the ideal matchup where there's at least one of each role on both teams and they're fulfilling that role well, Tyra probably isn't going to be all that great. And that's pretty much it, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye!
Sweet silver bells all seem to say